Hi Barbie! Get ready with me to go to the beach. So yesstyle was kind enough to send me a bunch of Barbie inspired makeup. This first item I have already been using consistently for the past 2 weeks. I have to say it really exceeded my expectations. So this is the Tirtir Eyes on Me Stay Cool palette. Here's the outside packaging, and then we just have a very simple pink ombre packaging for the actual palette, with the eyeshadows laid out as such on the inside. So as you can see, this is actually more of a peachy color story rather than a pink. So I don't know about you, but I was actually not even aware that Tirtir had eyeshadow palettes or any makeup products other than the famous, you know, egg-shaped foundation compacts that we see everywhere. I'll be honest, when I first saw this, judging from the packaging alone, I was a little bit skeptical. It just looks really dated to me, almost like it's imitating one of those old school Western makeup brand eyeshadow formats. Think of Anastasia, Beverly Hills back in the day, or even nowadays. I guess they didn't really change their format, did they now? Like Lorac, W7, any of those like mid-tier, slightly above drugstore level Western brands. It even has the token like double-sided brush included. So I was a little iffy judging off the appearance alone at first, but I have to say that I have been very pleasantly surprised by this palette. So I've actually found myself reaching for this palette quite often to create this go-to peachy beachy summer look. First I take Give Me Love, which is this peachy matte sequin shade. It's like a matte with glitters sprinkled throughout. After I apply that all over my top lids in the shape that I want, I am now going in with Bloom It, which is like a metallic fiery copper. I'm just gonna do pretty much like a horizontal gradient, really simple, deepening the shadow near the base of my eyelashes. I also received this Blessed Moon eyeshadow single. It's from their Like a Shadow singles line, and this is in the shade Shall We Peach. I think the packaging is super cute on this one, so it says push here. We're gonna push that and the lid pops up just like that. I think this is just a great little format for a single eyeshadow if you're traveling or something. So yeah, I don't really need a companion single shade to this palette obviously, but for the sake of the review, I'm going to dab some of this all over that lower half of my lid. And this is great because the shade pretty much matches that coppery shade in the Stay Cool palette perfectly, but it just has a bunch of, like, I don't know if you can see, there's a bunch of different colored glitters in here, like blues, greens, oranges, yellows. It just looks like a confetti party all over my lids. Using the same brush, I'm going to add even more glitter on top, dipping into the Pink Beam shade here. I think this may be my favorite shade in the entire palette. Not only is it just a universally flattering peachy tone, there's several different sizes of glitters mixed in here, including these big flat like hexagonal pieces that just add that extra dimension of glam and 3D-ness. I'm ever so slightly adding just a little bit of this Bonfire shade, this matte brown down here, to smudge out my eyeliner. Just the tiniest bit right above the eyeliner. Soften out the harshness of the line and add a little bit more definition in that area. Then I'm taking this shade up here, Breeze, which is like a very soft, shimmery, mushroomy shade. I'm putting that on my tear bag to highlight this area for the yesstyle effect. The thing I like about this formula is that the light shades like this actually show up, which can't be said for every K-beauty or Asian brand. And then taking my razor thin angled brush that I got for like less than 200 yen on Shein. I'm telling you, this is my biggest Douyin weapon, okay? Go ahead and draw in the tear bag lines. I feel like a literal surgeon when I use this brush. Like, I will never have to worry about a messy tear bag look ever again. And then finally, before we finish off with eyelashes and all that, I'm going in with Sunlight, which is this beigey, shimmery shade down here, to add the final highlight on the tear bag and the inner corner. Okay, my lashes are on. While I wait for the glue to dry, I'm going to apply some of this Feathery Fixie Cara in 01 Black. I think they have a bunch of other colored mascara options in this line as well. Really cute packaging. Okay, really nice thin wand. I'm still kind of nervous though, because you guys know I'm not very adventurous with mascaras. I don't really venture outside of my opera My Lash Holy Grail mascara. Okay, but honestly, this one is feeling pretty good so far. I think you can see the effect more in the lower lash line, but look, that's pretty lengthening without clumping up my lashes. Wow, that is pretty impressive. I might even have to say that that is on par with Opera. I just hope that this doesn't smudge. Oh, so the brand name is actually Peach C. The product name is Feathery Fixie Cara, which is kind of awkward to say, but whatever. It says a feather light mascara that won't clump and can be applied smoothly for a neat look. The waterproof formula, okay, there we go. So that kind of ensures that it's not gonna smudge. Adheres to the lashes and coats the curls for long-lasting wear. Eyes are pretty much done, and I'm going to move on to cheeks and lips. Before I do that, just wanted to really quickly show you some swatches of the Holika My Fave Mood Eye Palette in Shell in the Sea, this pinky brown color story right here. I chose not to use this one because I could tell right away the formula is like that powdery, chalky, not so pigmented type that I'm not too keen on. It's pretty common with a lot of K-beauty and other Asian brands, but yeah, me personally, I prefer something more Western leaning in terms of pigmentation and staying power, which I would say that the Tirtir Stay Cool palette is closer to. I almost forgot, I was also sent this concealer brush by Minest, I think that's how you pronounce it, the 307 concealer brush, and as you can see, I think this packaging is quite excessive for just a single skinny little brush like this. I'm sure it's great, but I don't know that this is necessary for one brush. I already have my base and everything on, but I guess we can just add a little bit of concealer around the lips and maybe like right below the tear bags to brighten everything up. So yeah, it has like a nice tapered design going down both sides, and then it's kind of, there's like this thin flat line on the top, as you can imagine. Ooh, that really lends itself to very intuitive and easy blending. Ah, okay, I'm actually more impressed than I thought I was gonna be with this brush, because basically you can turn it like either direction and it's still going to blend things out, operate appropriately, if you know what I mean, since both sides are flattened. So normally when I conceal like larger portions of my face, I still tend to go in with a sponge or one of these triangle puff things, just because it gives more coverage, but I can definitely see this being very useful for spot concealing. They didn't send me a blush, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this one from Juicy that I got for my birthday. This is the Soft Shell Cheek in N04 Sweet Cherry Blossom, and I'm actually worried that this might not show up. So look at, I love how the pattern is like a sand dune, sand waves, but I don't know if the color is gonna show up. Very powdery. Oh yeah, I think that'll be okay. It's perfect. I'm gonna switch my brush though to a smaller one. That is exactly the shade that the name suggests. The perfect nudie peach. It has like ever so slightly a gold overlay to it. I don't know if you can see, there's a layer of slight gold shimmer. This is very, very pretty. Juicy as a brand has actually never disappointed me thus far. Okay, and finally, last but not least, I'm finishing off with the Moonshot Performance Lip Blur Fixing Tint in number 04 Rhythm Through. Kind of a strange name, but I'm obsessed with this packaging. Super unique shape. This is really random, but I love how the font here is kind of giving me like Microsoft Windows 95, but then the shape of the component is just so unique and modern, and it's like very, very satisfying to just handle. You know, the fact that it's thinner on top here, it just makes it easier and more intuitive for your fingers to grab. I do love this shade. It's like a really nice bright pop of coral, really pops out against my skin tone. Also, there's a pretty nice scent to this. I feel like it's, I want to say lychee, I'm not sure, but very nice light fresh scent. Smells very nostalgic. And there you have it. This is my final look. I guess we could call this like Barbie having a peachy moment. It's definitely not. There's not a lot of pink going on here. That would be more of the Holika palette, which unfortunately, like I said earlier in the video, I'm just not as big of a fan of that type of formula. But yeah, Barbie doesn't have to be pink like every single day, obviously. So we're just gonna have like a peachy white moment today. Do you guys like my bathing suit? I love this frilly design. I have another one of this in black. And check out the shell earrings as well, which is like such a happy coincidence that I happen to own these. One of Margot Robbie's iconic outfits when she's in that beach getup in the Barbie movie. She's wearing like this huge shell necklace and shell earrings just like this. You know, at first I thought that these were too big, but after seeing the Barbie movie and seeing that Margot Robbie also wore really huge shell accessories, now I feel like I'm definitely gonna rock these with full confidence. I do have white rimmed shades as well, so I think these would match the outfit perfectly today. I have these in pink and black too, because you know Barbie needs her options. I'm so glad that this came out super cute, you know. It's always a risk when I'm doing my makeup before I actually go to an event, or I mean, not that I'm just going to the beach today with my friend, not like it's a big deal, but you know how it is sometimes with new products, you really do run the risk of potentially looking crazy. I'm just thankful that none of these products betrayed me today, and yeah, I'll see you on the Malibu beach.
See you on the Malibu beach!
Actually no, more like Sushi Beach because I'm in Japan. Okay, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me as usual. I will link all the products that I mentioned today in the description box. Just full disclosure, these were all sent to me in PR by yesstyle. So I was required to make this video reviewing the products, obviously. However, I was not required to give any sort of positive or biased review. Everything that you saw and heard here was my true reaction and thoughts on these products. Yeah, I hope that this was helpful to anyone who might be considering picking a few of these up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!